Opposed?
One abstention.
Unanimous at 4 with 1 abstention, babe. 81Ps tonight?
Yep.
Yeah, he wasn't here. Deer Street, Gutierrez Company.
I know I was here.
Hi, good evening. For the record, my name is Israel Lopez with the Gutierrez Company.
It's just for them. There's no loudspeaker.
I have a large-scale plan for the chairman and small-scale plans for the rest of the board of the proposed.
We can share this one here. That's fine.
I also have the form and the check
Yep.
for the lot subdivision. So this is
What,
for the Stone Ridge development site off of Cedar Street.
Checks for $450, Karen.
And so this is in the business park district. The purpose of the A&R plan is to create a lot that would accommodate the recently approved 40B development that was approved by the ZBA in September of last year. So what we would be doing is there are currently 4 lots, but the subject of the A&R is the remaining 3 lots of the subdivision. We would be combining 2 of the lots, so the existing lot 2B would become, the existing lot 2A would become lot 2B, and the remaining lots 3 and 4 would become lot 3A and 4A. All of the lots have frontage onto Deer Street.
It's endorsable as submitted.
Any questions from the board?
Did you bring 3 copies?
when they putting the road through?
Of the,
Applicant Form A?
I guess we can ask what the status is anyways.
You have 3 copies?
You don't have frontage until the road
2
goes
copies, my
This?
apologies.
Well, there you go.
There's only one.
in. Only 1 copy.
Now, there's got one more there.
Just a question, status of the road itself?
The road is complete but for the binder coat, which will be put down in the spring, weather permitting, so within a month or so, assuming that the snow is gone by then.
They're supposed to be coming back for an extension on the subdivision, which runs out next meeting. But they'll have an extension by then.
Right, so the only thing that's remaining is the binder coat. All of the infrastructure in the road is done. A couple of light poles that need to be put in, but other than that, everything's complete.
Okay. Anything else from the board?
Motion.
Motion by Pat to have Larry sign the 81P. Do I hear a second? Seconded by John. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor? Opposed? Unanimous at 5. ZBA variance referral, 26 Eben Street, Wayne Caruso. I'll read Larry's letter. Applicant requests a lot shape factor variance to relocate the easterly side lot line on the subject property. The proposed property line adjustment is to accommodate the existing driveway location. The RC district requires a lot shape factor of 22. The proposed shape factor of 21.5 meets the requirement. Therefore, I recommend the applicant be allowed to withdraw without prejudice as relief is not needed.
Motion.
Motion by Pat to allow the applicant to withdraw without prejudice. Second?
I'll second. Okay, bye.
Seconded by Lena. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 5. ZBA variance referral for 28 Evans Street, Wayne Caruso. Applicant requests a variance to relocate the westerly side lot line of the subject property. The proposed property line adjustment is to accommodate the existing driveway location on the adjacent lot 26. The RC district requires a lot shape factor of 22. The existing shape factor is 31.2, which currently exceeds the requirement. The proposed shape factor will be 44.7. Given the overly irregular shape of the lot that pre-existed the adoption of the shape factor requirement, I recommend a favorable be sent to the zoning board of appeals.
I move we send a favorable report to zoning board. I'll second that.
Motion by John, send it favorable to the zoning board of appeals, seconded by Babe. Any further discussion? I remember these, I did the subdivision.
What do you
Yeah,
say?
when they submitted, they
Oh.
originally submitted both of them as one application. So, and they didn't have a full-size plan. So the staff that had reviewed it at the time just noticed that there should have been two separate applications. And so they told them that, and
they
instead of
instead of
getting it
both.
straightened out, they did what they did.
All those in favor of sending a favorable recommendation to the zoning board of appeals will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous at 5. ZBA variance referral, 23 Ravenna Street, David Sanchez. I'll read Larry's letter. The applicant requests a variance to subdivide the existing lot. The subject property consists of a non-conforming two-family dwelling on a 19,951 square foot lot in the RB zone. RB district is single-family zone and requires a minimum lot size of 15,000 per lot. Specifically, the variance requests the lot to be divided into two non-conforming lots, one having 13,467 of area and one with only 6,484. Might as well give it a shot. There are no circumstances whatsoever relating to the soil condition, shape, or topography of the property that warrant the requested relief. In addition, the proposed density will not be in keeping with the overall neighborhood. Therefore, I recommend an unfavorable report be forwarded to the zoning board of appeals due to the lack of a hardship.
Oh, no, wait a minute. Should the variance not be granted, the lot area will be underutilized in comparison to the other properties on the street, thus creating the hardship.
Oh,
So I just wanted to let you know.
I'm glad I now
With
know
that, and with that additional knowledge, I'm gonna go ahead and recommend unfavorable.
And I will second that, Pat.
Motion to send an unfavorable recommendation to the zoning board of appeals, seconded by Pat, seconded by Lena. Any further discussion from the board?
This is just another thing of somebody buying a piece of property and wanna put an extra $100,000 in their pocket.
Absolutely.
Making two non-conforming lots, thing.
I don't know how you can grant or create a non-conformance, that's
They think they
unique,
can.
but I guess it's possible.
Yeah, they've been doing
We
it.
already have a non-conforming with a two-family
Yeah,
lot.
with the two-family, it's already an existing
So if you think
non-conformance.
about it,
What's one more?
no, if you think about it, you've already utilized the lot.
Exactly.
If you take the top and move the bottom over, you got what you wanted.
Yeah. All those in favor of sending a
Unfavorable.
unfavorable to the zoning board of appeals, will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 5. ZBA special permit referral, 2 Weston Ave, Stephen Bono. The applicant requests a special permit to establish a supplemental apartment on the subject property. The subject property consists of a single-family dwelling on an 11,718 square foot non-conforming lot in the RB zone. RB district requires a minimum lot size of 15,000 square feet. Specifically, the applicant requests the approval of the supplemental apartment in the basement. The zoning bylaw defines supplemental apartments as an accessory dwelling unit consisting of not more than 3 habitable rooms created within a detached single-family dwelling house, the creation of which accessory dwelling unit cannot alter the single-family residential appearance of the building in which such apartment is created. It is unclear how the proposed supplemental apartment is accessed through the existing dwelling and not separately through the garage. Therefore, I recommend an unfavorable report be forwarded to the zoning board of appeals unless the primary access to the supplemental apartment is through the main dwelling unit.
Doesn't sound like that's gonna
That's
happen.
on mine.
It appears that they're finishing off the basement.
It is.
This is
You don't have a
Christino's old house.
Yeah.
Front door.
Oh, is that which one it is? It's the one at the corner?
We back to it tomorrow, so we're-
Can you get in through anything other than the garage doors? I mean, the whole front is garage doors.
Isn't there a flight
Well,
of stairs or something?
I don't
There
know
is.
that
It goes
there's,
up to the- it
there's
goes up to
a-
the
there's
front.
another, door to the
The garages
basement, I
sit
think.
up above, and then the house is above it.
you go in the garage and take a left, and it takes you downstairs to the basement. Just that it doesn't-
Yeah, I mean, we can't really tell from what's here, that's for sure.
That's a big house, isn't
Well, yeah, it is pretty big. I mean, a lot of it's garage. It's a 3-car garage, my
it?
recollection.
That's,
Yeah, that's all garages.
this
through
garage
there.
is in the
Yeah.
front, no?
Can't read
I mean,
exactly what
they-
they're writing.
You know, unless they do that, I mean, there's no way to actually approve it. It doesn't meet the requirements otherwise, and we can't.
Yeah, they
I'll move
should.
for an unfavorable.
Recommendation by Johnson, an unfavorable recommendation based on the fact that there's not enough information to even allow this without knowing where the access, how the access to the supplemental apartment will be obtained. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Pat. Any further discussion from the board? Hearing none, all those in favor of sending the unfavorable recommendation to the zoning board will signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous at 5. Tripartite agreement for Janala Crossing. Larry sent this out to us today.
Yeah, I saw it. It was online, yeah.
Larry, if you want to go through it, if there's anything, I mean, I don't know that there was anything that was, I didn't see anything anyways.
No, they got the name
They
of
got the name of the bank
correct.
updated, which was
And
the major holdup
extended it
last
out to yeah, October 30 in 2020.
What happened?
Should town council go through over this, or?
No, this is identical to the other one, that just
updated.
is adjusted to extend, because the other one ran out.
This matches the one we had existing.
And you've got all the,
Right.
Yeah, they
Sure.
changed the bank, but I mean, technically, in terms of legality, there's nothing changed. It was what we had already approved.
Motion.
Motion by Pat to have the chairman sign the,
well,
Everyone?
it's,
Is it everyone or just you?
no, there should be
oh, this-
at least 3, if
Okay.
not 4.
motion to sign the tripartite agreement by Pat, seconded by John. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous at 5.
There's only one notary line, Karen. Who are you actually notarizing?
I'll put my
Well,
down.
They got 4 lines, that's what I'm asking. I'm just.
Well, no, you need to sign it, and then she'll pick one to notarize, or she can
was just asking
list
the
them all.
technical
if she
work,
wants.
Yeah.
Oh, she is, good.
I think
Just
this is
more of a
her first
curiosity
week full
question.
time.
Is
She's
it?
a couple of weeks she's doing
I
2
assume
or
it is.
3 days.
All right, because you gotta put someone in the book.
Maybe I should have said it that way with the 3, they don't know what all that is anyway.
Dante down for me.
So you go back to the registry of deeds, that's what it looks like every year I sign it, it looks the same.
You're very close to you.
Anybody have any new business?
Not me.
Any old business? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to close the public hearing. I close the meeting.
Motion.
Motion by Pat.
Second.
Seconded by Babe. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, unanimous at 5. Thank you and good evening.